Buckle up for Kings and Prophets, a look at First Kings. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the first book of Kings. Get ready for drama, kings, and a fiery prophet who throws down with the weather. First Kings picks up right where 2 Samuel left off. King David's getting old, and things are getting a little messy with his sons vying for the throne. We'll see Solomon, David's chosen heir, rise to power and witness his glorious reign filled with wisdom and wealth. But hold on, because things take a turn for the worse as Solomon loses his way. Kingdom divided. Brace yourselves, because after Solomon's reign, the kingdom splits in two: Israel in the north and Judah in the south. This is where things get interesting. We'll meet a whole cast of characters, both good and bad, who rule these divided kingdoms. Enter the prophets. But wait, there's more. First Kings introduces us to some of the most famous prophets in the Bible, especially Elijah. Get ready for this charismatic dude who takes on the evil King Ahab and his wicked wife Jezebel. Elijah's got some serious miracles up his sleeve, including a show-stopping showdown with the rain gods on Mount Carmel. Lessons learned. Throughout the book, we see the consequences of following God and the dangers of straying from the path. We'll learn valuable lessons about leadership, faith, and the importance of staying true to your beliefs. So, grab your Bible, hit that like button, and join us as we explore the drama, the prophets, and the enduring message of First Kings. The Ascension of Solomon, 1 Kings 1-2. The book begins with the elderly King David nearing the end of his life. Adonijah, one of David's sons, seeks to usurp the throne, but Solomon is anointed king as per David's instructions. Solomon's consolidation of power involves the execution of Adonijah and Joab and the banishment of Abiathar. The ascension of Solomon in 1 Kings 1-2 is a story of intrigue, power struggles, and ultimately, a divinely ordained transition of leadership. Here's a breakdown of the key events. King David on his deathbed. The story opens with King David nearing death. He's frail and no longer able to keep himself warm. Adonijah's power play. One of David's sons, Adonijah, sees an opportunity to seize the throne. He throws a lavish feast and gathers influential people to his side, including military leaders and a priest. Adonijah is making a public move to be declared king. Bathsheba and Nathan's intervention. Bathsheba, another of David's wives and Solomon's mother, gets wind of Adonijah's plot. Together with the prophet Nathan, they remind David of his earlier decree to make Solomon king. Solomon ascends the throne. With renewed vigor, David acts decisively. He has Solomon proclaimed king in a swift public ceremony. The sound of trumpets and shouts of "Long live King Solomon" solidify Solomon's ascension. Adonijah's plans crumble, and his supporters flee. David's farewell and Solomon's request for wisdom. King David dies shortly after, leaving Solomon securely on the throne. The book ends with a glimpse into Solomon's heart. He prays to God, not for riches or power, but for wisdom to rule justly. This sets the stage for Solomon's glorious, but complex reign, which will be explored in the later chapters of 1 Kings. Significance of the Ascension. The Ascension of Solomon is a pivotal moment in the history of Israel. It marks the end of David's era and the beginning of a new chapter under Solomon's rule. More importantly, the way Solomon becomes king is significant, divinely ordained. The narrative emphasizes that the will of God will prevail. David's pronouncements and the swift public ceremony suggest divine backing for Solomon's ascension. Focus on wisdom. Solomon's prayer for wisdom foreshadows his future reputation as a wise and just king. This passage lays the groundwork for the upcoming story, hinting at the potential for a golden age under Solomon's wise leadership. Solomon's reign. A time of wisdom and folly. 1 Kings 3-11. King Solomon's reign in 1 Kings 3-11 is a story of incredible highs and lows. Let's break it down. The wise king. God grants wisdom. 1 Kings 3 verses 5-15. It all starts with a dream. God appears to Solomon and offers him anything he desires. Solomon, unlike others who might ask for riches or power, asks for wisdom to rule justly. Impressed by this choice, God blesses Solomon with exceptional wisdom and discernment, making him renowned throughout the ancient world. Building boom, 1 Kings 5-7. Empowered by his wisdom, Solomon embarks on a massive building project. The crown jewel is the magnificent temple in Jerusalem, a permanent home for the Ark of the Covenant and a center for worship. He also builds an extravagant royal palace and other impressive structures. Prosperity and trade, 1 Kings 9. Solomon's wise leadership expands the kingdom's borders and establishes lucrative trade routes. The nation enjoys immense wealth and prosperity, becoming a beacon of commerce and culture. The downfall, foreign influence, 1 Kings 11. Solomon marries many foreign wives, some from nations that worship other gods. These wives begin to influence Solomon, leading him to turn away from his devotion to Yahweh. Idolatry and division, 1 Kings 11. Solomon allows foreign gods to be worshipped within Israel, fracturing the religious unity of the kingdom. This disobedience to God paves the way for future troubles, including the splitting of the kingdom after Solomon's death. Solomon's legacy, unequaled wisdom. Despite his flaws, Solomon's wisdom is unmatched. Proverbs, a book of wisdom literature attributed to Solomon, is still relevant today. Grand building projects. The temple in Jerusalem remains a significant landmark for millennia, even after its destruction. Unprecedented prosperity. Solomon's reign is remembered as a golden age of wealth and stability. A tale of caution. Solomon's ultimate failure serves as a warning about the dangers of disobedience and the importance of staying true to one's faith. The story of Solomon is a complex one, filled with both brilliance and folly. It's a reminder that even the wisest people can make mistakes, and that true greatness is found in staying faithful to our values. The breakup. A look at the divided kingdom in 1 Kings 12-16. Moving on from Solomon. 1 Kings 12-16 tells the story of a real downer for the Israelites, the split of their kingdom. After Solomon's reign, things get rocky with his son, Rehoboam. Rehoboam doesn't exactly listen to the people's pleas for lighter taxes, and that leads to dueling kingdoms. The 10 northern tribes reject Rehoboam's leadership and form the kingdom of Israel, with Jeroboam as their king. The 2 southern tribes, Judah and Benjamin, remain loyal to Rehoboam, creating the kingdom of Judah. Oh, idols. Here's where things get tricky. King Jeroboam worries that people will go to Jerusalem, in Judah, to worship at the temple, so he makes a big mistake. He sets up idols, golden calves, for the Israelites to worship in the north. This breaks a major rule set by God, and guess what? God is not happy. Enter the prophets. Not here for your idols. Things keep spiraling downward as both Israel and Judah struggle with following God's commandments. But there's a glimmer of hope. Prophets like Ahijah and Elijah come on the scene. They're basically God's mouthpieces, calling out the kings and the people for their disobedience. What does it all mean? The division of the kingdom is a major turning point in Israelite history. It weakens their nation and opens the door for future invasions. This section of 1 Kings is a cautionary tale about the dangers of disobedience and the importance of following God's will. So why should you care? This story is full of drama, rebellion, and consequences. It teaches us valuable lessons about leadership, faith, and the importance of staying true to our beliefs. It also reminds us that God is always there, even when we mess up, sending prophets to guide us back on the right track. In 1 Kings 17-22, we meet Elijah, a fearless prophet of the one true God, Yahweh, going head-to-head with the prophets of Baal, a popular Canaanite deity. Setting the stage, King Ahab of Israel is married to Jezebel, a ruthless queen who worships Baal. To appease her, Ahab allows Baal worship to flourish, turning the people away from Yahweh. Enter Elijah, the fiery prophet. The famine and the widow. God tells Elijah to announce a drought as punishment for the Israelites' disobedience. Elijah flees to avoid Jezebel's wrath and finds himself relying on a poor widow for food. In a miraculous act of faith, God blesses the widow's meager supplies, showing his power to sustain even in hardship. The showdown on Mount Carmel. After 3 years of drought, Elijah challenges the prophets of Baal to a public contest. They'll each prepare a sacrifice on separate altars, and whichever god sends fire to consume it will be declared the true God. The prophets of Baal dance and chant all day, but their God remains silent. The God who answers by fire. Elijah builds his altar and douses it with water, seemingly at a disadvantage. Then, he calls upon Yahweh in a powerful prayer. Fire explodes from the sky, consuming Elijah's offering and licking up the water around the altar. The people are awestruck. They declare Yahweh the one true God and turn on the prophets of Baal. Beyond the fire, there's more to the story. Elijah faces threats from Jezebel, wrestles with doubt, and even gets divinely appointed help from his successor, Elisha. Why this story matters? This dramatic showdown is a powerful reminder of God's sovereignty and faithfulness. It also highlights the importance of following the true God and rejecting false idols. Wrapping up 1 Kings, a legacy of division and hope. All right, folks, we've reached the end of 1 Kings. It's been a wild ride through a kingdom divided, epic prophet showdowns, and some seriously dramatic rulers. So, what are we left with? A divided kingdom, a divided heart. The book ends with the death of Ahab, a stark reminder of the consequences of straying from God's path. Israel remains fractured, with both the northern and southern kingdoms teetering on the brink of further decline. It's a sobering message, but it also highlights the importance of staying true to one's beliefs. Prophets, God's voice in the storm. Throughout the book, prophets like Elijah and Micaiah served as God's voice, calling out injustice and reminding the people of their covenant. They weren't always popular, but their courage and unwavering faith offer a powerful lesson. A glimpse of hope. Despite the darkness, there's a flicker of hope. The final verse mentions the prophet Elisha, hinting at the continuation of God's message and the potential for future redemption. The conversation continues. 1 Kings leaves us with a lot to ponder. It challenges us to examine our own faithfulness and the choices we make. It also reminds us that even in the midst of division, God's plan continues to unfold. Now I invite any questions or comments you may have. So, what did you take away from 1 Kings? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bible study adventures with the Living Word. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the book of 1 Kings. Have an amazing day, and please don't forget to give a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you can stay up to date on all my new videos about the Living Word. God bless you all.